So there has been a lot of talk of DV or domestic violence in South Korean media, and also a lot of you guys had emailed me about what is happening in India currently. It's called the Kolkata doctor murder case that has gone international. You guys wanted me to bring this case to light because the details of what happened is not only crazy, but it is something that needs to be talked about so that we can change laws, bring protection to those who are in need so that this does not happen again. And another case I'm going to be talking about of what happened in South Korea with a very famous athlete. He was actually also on a famous Netflix show, a Korean Netflix show. He even won like third place. And to think that somebody is going to use their physique, their God-given talent to hurt somebody else definitely needs to be talked about and definitely needs to be shamed. So today's topic might be a little bit sensitive. This video might get demonetized, so hit the like button, sharing, commenting, all really helps for this video to reach as many people as we can. So the first case we have to talk about is a Kolkata case that happened in India. So this happened in the eastern city of Kolkata and takes place in a government-owned or operated hospital, technically like a college hospital, like university hospital, funded by the government. Now, I saw videos of this hospital, and I'm not sure if this is the normal hospitals in India or hospitals are like this outside of major cities, but it's a pretty rundown hospital. There's not much CCTV at all. I think there's like few CCTVs when you enter the hospital, but when it comes to the rest of the buildings, it's unsecure. And there are a lot of female nurses and doctors that are working here as well. So the story starts from a woman named Abaya. It actually means fearless, and her real name was never released to the public. Maybe it is, but India also has a similar law to South Korea where you cannot legally release somebody's legal name or photos without the permission of the family. So Abaya was a junior doctor. She was only 31 years young, and she was said to be such an amazing woman who only studied all her life just to become a doctor to save lives. As you could see her picture, she was not only a beautiful woman, but very smart and dedicated to her career. Now, I did not know about this, but apparently doctors have like long shifts in the hospital, and they can go as short as 24 hours to 36 hours to 72 hours of shifts inside of the hospital. Now, they do get rest periods, but I'm guessing that if you have these long shifts, you cannot go home. It's not 9 to 5. You have to spend your 2-3 days inside of the hospital, and then you get to go home. So you are constantly doing night shifts and, awake during the day to obviously care for patients who might be in life or death situations. So on this particular night, on August 8th of this year, Miss Abaya, she was doing a 36-hour shift. She arrived at the hospitals and she was starting her night shift, and around 11 p.m. she called her father to say that she arrived and she was fine, and I guess like a normal routine checkup with her parents. Then at 2 a.m. on the 9th, technically, she and her other colleagues went out for dinner and came back to the hospital. Now, during this time, around 3 a.m., I guess there was no other patients that was in need, so she was going to get her rest whenever she could. Because I guess doctors, you never know when you can rest because you can go into emergency surgeries, and there might be people coming in and out. So she was going to get her rest in the seminar room because apparently in this hospital, there was no resting rooms for doctors. Again, I don't know if that's the normal hospital protocol in globally or maybe in just this hospital, but it's really sad that there's no resting room officially for doctors and they have to just find like meeting rooms and seminar rooms to rest. Now, I believe the seminar room is located on the 3rd floor, and there's another section that you have to go through to get to the seminar room. So obviously, if you don't have the authority to be in the hospital, how would you know like how to get to different places? Now, from here, somewhere around 4 a.m., we don't know exactly what happened because again, there was no CCTV footages, and ironically, nobody heard any screams. And that could be because the hospital is very big, and again, the seminar room is located where you have to go through another empty room that day. So it could be that nobody heard anybody. And it was only the next morning, I believe around 10 a.m., when some of the colleagues went to the seminar room and found Abaya. Unfortunately, she was deceased, and it became this huge mystery of what happened to this innocent young doctor. Now, this part is what happened according to the parents. They say that they got a call around 11 a.m. to say that their daughter has deceased. But apparently the hospital team say that they've never said that, but the parents say that that is exactly what they heard, and they don't know why. If she was clearly murdered, somebody would say that she's self. So you guys could see from here, the case becomes very mysterious of like odd misinformations going on. But it's not uncommon when I research these murder cases, mystery cases, where there's a lot of misinformation because people are in a grieving shock stage, that they hear odd things, or the person that is sharing these information to the family, who technically don't have the authority to do so, they might be also in shock and might say these odd informations. The victim's fathers say, "We sent her to work at the hospital and gave us a body. It's all finished for us." Murder happening inside of the hospital is pretty uncommon and kind of ironic, right? Because that's usually where you do these kind of autopsies and cases, at the hospital. The results show that there was multiple abrasions, pretty bad abrasions, literally pretty much everywhere, including her neck, head, the eyes. And they say that the most injury was in her head area, which meant that this was definitely like a crime out of passion. There was definite proof that she was RSA by an unknown male. And there was some incorrect information, misinformation going around, that they thought this was a G, multiple people assault, because they said that there was a lot of male fluid that was found inside of her, but that was actually incorrect information. This could have been done by one person, and they don't know if it was done by multiple people actually. Also earlier, there was information that her pelvic bone was broken, which is one of the strongest bones in the human body, but I believe that is also misinformation, that none of the other parts other than the face was broken. But regardless, this was a hideous crime, and professionals say that especially victims that was targeted mostly in their face area is usually by a very passionate, like, anger crime. So was the suspect related to Abaya, or was it a complete stranger? How did this person even have the authority or know where to exactly go to find the victim? Now, shortly after this case has blown up in India and internationally, a lot of, especially the medical communities, were angry. They were demanding protection and better privacy, just a better secure area that they can work comfortably in, especially because there are a lot of female nurses and doctors here. And as we know, in India, it is kind of notorious to have a lot of these crimes when it comes to R/gang related R/SA crimes that happens here. And during the night of August 14, there was a riot and protest that won, a major one, and I believe a lot of hospitals actually shut down protesting for justice for Abaya and asking again for the medical team to get better protection. Now, unfortunately, apparently we don't know who, but a group of people went inside of this specific hospital where Abaya was found and destroyed, like, around the room or the hospital, which apparently somebody looted the hospital, that led to potentially not being able to gather more physical evidence, which is very odd because it's like justice for the victim, but why would somebody go in there and like root the hospital? Or maybe they were angry like at the hospital or the government saying, hey, we want better service, we want better protections, and they didn't do that out of trying to destroy evidence, or maybe they did. A lot of people believe that, hey, the government sent these people pretending to riot and they want to destroy the evidence because the government was involved. But we don't know that. Again, crazy theories out there. So obviously the police got into investigation right away to try and find who might have done this, or multiple people. They were able to find some limited CCTV footage from the hospital. They also found a Bluetooth earphone that fell off at the hospital, and they were able to link that to a man. This man, whom the police currently are saying is the suspect. Now, this man is a civic volunteer with the Kolkata Police Disaster Management Force, and he was working near the hospital at the time. Allegedly, he is known to have a DV domestic violence past. He has been married multiple times, and I believe his last ex-wife has accused him of, anger, and that he was pretty much crazy and had these anger towards women specifically. According to the police, they claim that he already confessed. Again, with the whole crazy theories out there, is he being used as a scapegoat? A lot of people are saying that this is the wrong suspect and the police rushed in to find anybody. And some people say that there's no way this could have been done by one person. It had to be multiple. So there's still a lot of questions and mystery out there. Now, if all this is true, was this man directly related to Abaya? Did they have a past history with each other? Did he just have anger for specifically females and he went in there to search for a victim? Are they strangers? We don't know yet, and I really hope that we get justice for this beautiful, young doctor. She was a junior doctor. She had her entire life ahead of her. She studied all her life. You guys know doctor schools take decades. And moving forward, I really, really hope that not just India, but internationally, that we have big respect for doctors and nurses and people in the medical communities and better protection for them. And CCTVs, please, and a resting room for these doctors in India. So the next case, let's go into the South Korean case of a famous athlete who is right now under the arrest for, again, DV. If you guys follow the Korean media and the entertainment, reality shows, celebrities, you might know this person, but again, for defamation laws, we do have to cover his face and his identity, but a lot of people know who he is. So this famous athlete from South Korea is actually a rugby sports player. Now he is retired from rugby, but he came into the entertainment fame when he entered the reality show on Netflix. It's a really popular show and I even watched it. It's actually really fun. They gather 100 different people with different physiques and they try to find the number one best physical person who's gonna win all the games. And this guy actually won third place. So it shows you, especially the top 10, it's one of the strongest players in South Korea. Now let's call him Jay. He is known to be actually a very, very tall and big and meaty guy. His mother was also known to be a famous supermodel back in the days. So you could see he also came from a big family. So the story goes that athlete Jay, he had a girlfriend and he was in a relationship, and for unknown, or I'm not sure the details of why, but the two had broken up. And June of this year, as they were breaking up, Jay called his girlfriend and said that, hey, give me my stuff back. I want my clothes. I'm gonna be in front of your apartment, or go inside your apartment. I just want to gather my stuff. So the girlfriend, I guess, allowed him to. He came into her apartment, and that is when the girlfriend claims that he asked me for sexual advances. She declined, obviously. They were broken up. And that is when they started to get into an argument. He got really mad and tried to force himself. Everything was recorded inside of her home CCTV, fortunately. And as they were arguing, he was getting even more aggressive. He even took her phone, threw it multiple times to the point that it broke, so she could not call for help. Now, when he started to get physical, she went inside of her bathroom, locked herself up to hide. That is when there's a CCTV footage video right here of him. Literally, he is like an almost 7 feet man, I believe. A big rugby player literally broke down the door to the bathroom and started to assault her. While doing this, he is seen here yelling, "I am the strongest man in South Korea right now." And how scary could that be? I can't imagine what she was going through at that moment. Apparently, this went on for a couple hours and somehow she was able to escape a call for help. That is when the police came and arrested him. And right now he is under arrest, going through investigations. The funny thing is, as she escaped and I guess he realized what he did and she was about to call the police, he texted her broken phone pretending, "Hey, I'm outside. I heard you screaming. I'm not sure why, but I hope you're okay." So he even set up this plan to cover everything up. Like, how are you going to cover that up, dude? He was also on a really big interview TV show in Korea and this is an interview show where they only bring people that they really respect in South Korea, especially for somebody to use their talent and physique in that manner, especially as an athlete representing your own country, South Korea. a lot of people are shocked and calling for justice. So as I said earlier, there has been a lot of these DV cases that has been surfacing in South Korea, which is, I guess, a good thing so that we talk about it and make sure we know how to protect ourselves and for this to not happen. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you guys have thought about today's cases in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to the GRAZY TV True Crime community, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.